Going on, guys? Today we are back on the Ford 3000. As some of you seen, I removed the cylinder head off of it last week. It is currently at a machine shop in Zanesville right now, getting pressure tested, and if everything's good, they're going to fully recondition it, new springs and everything. Since I'm waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and check something else that I originally wanted to do from the get-go, but I needed this tractor not very long after I bought it for some stuff around the house. So I kind of skipped this part, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. As I've said before, this tractor has been, or before I bought it, was sitting out in my coworker's yard for a year. It didn't run. It was outside in all the weather, all the elements and everything, and it ran good for the most part. The oil pressure switch that you seen me change in a way earlier video on the side of this block, that was bad and it was spewing out oil. Once I fixed that, the oil light would go out after running for about a second, like it's supposed to do, and it would only be on if I turned the key on. I never had a problem with oil pressure or anything in this engine, but because it was sitting for a year and didn't run, I don't know what kind of oil he used in it, what kind of degenerate was in it or not. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to drain the oil out, I'm going to take the oil filter off, drain the oil out, and I'm going to take that bottom oil pan off. I don't know how difficult it's going to be given it's got the loader frame on the bottom of it, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. I got a new gasket on the way for it. I'll reinstall it in a later segment and throw it in there. I want to make sure there is no sludge on the bottom of this. I'm also going to inspect that that oil pump, the oil sending unit down there. Just to make sure it's clean. If not, I'll yank it off and I'll clean it up in some solvent. So I'm going to go ahead and I got the oil pan down there. Let's go ahead and get this oil filter off. I don't even know if I'm going to need the oil filter wrench for this. I may just be able to just turn that off. We'll see. Oh, no, I need a wrench for this. The oil filter wrench I have, I don't know if it's big enough. As a matter of fact, I know it's not big enough, yeah, so I don't have another one. I'm just going to have to try and force this off by hand. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Oil should be coming out. Yep, there we go. Right into the pan. All right, if you can see the oil plug right down there on the side of the pan, that's the next thing we need to take off. I don't know exactly what size that is. I'm just using a big crescent wrench. I didn't think that thing was on there that tight. My mistake. There. Now it's loose. Try and position this oil pan and get ready for it. Oh yeah, a lot of antifreeze in there. I wonder how much of that's from just where when I blew the head gasket versus when I pulled the head off and everything fell down in there. Now normally, you know, don't think I'm ignorant by doing this. Normally I would do the smart thing and heat the tractor up before doing that. That way all the deposits. But since I'm taking the oil pan off anyway, I'm going to wipe it out, so you know all the deposits are going to be out of there anyways. So that's why I'm changing the oil, even though this engine is stone cold. All right, I'm going to let that drain out and clean the plug. I'm going to put it, well, I'll take that back. I won't have to clean the plug, but I'll put it back in, and then I'll start by taking these oil pan bolts off. There's quite a few of them down here, and I can see oil on them. So that may take a second. I'll just show you what I'm looking at and show me taking a few off. I'll either speed it up or I'll just skip over it. All right, we're up underneath the tractor now. I got the oil plug back on there. This is what we're looking at. There is 20 of these bolts. There's 20 of them, and they're 9/16, but there is 22 holes. I noticed something right there and adjacent on the other side. Neither one of those holes has a bolt in them, but if you look closely up in there, I don't know if you can tell, you can see threads. So yeah, there's most definitely threads up in there. So I don't know. Maybe this oil pan has been off at one point and someone got lazy and didn't, excuse me if I'm yelling, I'm trying to talk over the rain up there. Somebody got lazy and forgot 2 bolts. And if that's true, I'm not happy about it. So I'm going to go ahead and get all 20 of these bolts off. I'm not going to film it because that's just going to be boring. But I'm going to get them off, and I'm going to go ahead and get this oil pan off and show you guys what it looks like underneath. I have cylinder number 3, which is the furthest cylinder back on the motor. I have it at bottom dead center. So I think, I'm not sure where the pump is. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, this end that drops down. I'm going to look at the connecting rods and everything, make sure. I might actually pull a cap off if I'm questionable and see how it looks. But no, I'm going to go ahead and get this done. All right, we got her done. As you can see, there's the crank and everything up in there. All 3 cylinders. And that oil pump, if you can get a good look at that, yeah, it's dripping a little bit. But that thing is in really good shape. I'll just clean it off, and I see no reason to even take that off. It looks fine. The mesh looks good. It's not broken. There's no gunk in it. I just have the oil pan down there because it's dripping right now. But yeah, those bolts I was talking about, that one that you see all that crap in right there, that didn't have a bolt in it. And then over here, adjacent to it, didn't have a bolt in it. But you see, those holes have threads in them. That one right there, and this one does too, which I'll have to clean that out. So I'm going to have to find a grade of bolt that goes in this oil pan and get those fixed. You know, my OCD, I can't let that one go. So then the pile of bolts, and I'm going to show you the bottom of this oil pan. Yeah, the rain's back. Yeah. Here's the bottom of the oil pan. You can see there's still a little bit of oil, but here's what I'm talking about. Find a way to hard to do with only 2 hands. Yeah, see how thick that is? When I do that on the bottom, that's sludge. So I am gonna clean out this oil pan. I figured there'd be a little bit. Oh yeah, because that plug down there, it only gets so much out. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let this drain and then clean it out, and probably power wash it out. Clean off that gasket around where that was, and throw it back on when the new gasket gets in.